Hello and welcome to Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Today we're going to be flying back to Austin in Comfort Plus on one of Delta's Airbus A321s. Our journey begins on the plane train from E gates to B gates, having just arrived on one of Delta's flagship A350s on the red-eye from LAX. If you missed that video, click the link in the top right or in the description below to check it out. The Terminal B concourse is as alive as ever, with the early morning rush of passengers moving every which way. Our flight today, Delta 2078, is departing out of gate B11, so we'll head that way. As we arrive at the gate, our aircraft taxis in. Taking us to Austin today is November 119 Delta November, an Airbus A321-200 delivered to Delta in April of 2021. Of Delta's fleet, the A321-200 makes up the second largest number of aircraft with 127, coming second only to the Boeing 737-900ER, which sits at 159. The A321-200 will soon drop to third, however, as Delta's order of 155 Airbus A321neos enter service over the coming years. Boarding begins around 20 minutes later, and we can head down the jetway and onto our A321. We're seated today in seat 10F, a window seat in Delta's Comfort Plus cabin. Typical Comfort Plus rows have 34 inches of pitch and 18 inches of width, but row 10 is a bulkhead row between First Class and Comfort Plus, which means a little extra space over the traditional Comfort Plus row. The seats in front are First Class seats and as a result have the same First Class seat back pockets. The tray table is stored in the middle armrest and folds out without too much hassle. It's pretty small, all things considered, but it works for shorter routes. In-seat entertainment is provided through the entertainment screens at each seat. The screen for our seat is located beneath the armrest and folds out. The screen is the same size as on the rest of the aircraft, but the screen is much closer here, so it certainly appears larger. Above each row of seats are lights, air vents, and the attendant call buttons, as to be expected on all aircraft. The cabin crew soon closes the boarding door, and we push back to begin taxiing out to runway 26 left. As we taxi out, let's take a quick look at some stats about our aircraft. Flying us back to Austin today is November 119 Delta November, an Airbus A321-200 delivered to Delta back in April of 2021. Each A321-200 is powered by two CFM56-5B engines, producing a maximum of 33,000 pounds of thrust for a combined thrust of 66,000 pounds. The -200 model has a total length of 146 feet and a wingspan of 117 feet 5 inches with a sweep angle of 25 degrees. Each A321-200 has a maximum range of 3,200 nautical miles and a cruising speed of 517 miles per hour or Mach 0.78 at an altitude of 39,000 feet. Delta operates their A321-200s with a total of 191 seats, with 20 first class seats, 29 Comfort Plus seats, and 142 main cabin seats. As we're on our way out to runway 26 left, why don't you hit that subscribe button? It's totally free and it really helps support the channel. And be sure to hit that bell icon while you're down there so you never miss another video. While we wait in line for departure, we can take a minute to look out the window and admire the view of our incredible engines. As we do, our pilot starts up engine number 2, and the motionless beast roars into life. Our aircraft rounds the corner onto 26 left, and we begin our takeoff roll for this 2-hour and 25-minute flight back to Austin. The sun is out in full force today, illuminating our ascent into the blue skies beyond. The pilot levels off at our cruising altitude, and we can take a minute now to look at the bathrooms on board. The bathrooms are pretty standard for an Airbus aircraft. The sink works well, and the soap is about half full with well-stocked paper products. The sink is rather small, so it's hard to properly wash one's hands, but beyond that it's pretty clean, so overall a nice bathroom. The clear skies means that we can easily see down to the ground below. The scenery isn't too interesting, but it's still nice to have something other than a snow-white surface to look at. Our attention is soon turned elsewhere as the in-flight snack arrives. Offered on today's flight is a selection of roasted almonds and cookies with the standard choice of drinks. I opted for both snacks and a Coke, which came in this mini can. The snacks aren't very filling, so bring your own food if you want something more substantial, but at least everything tasted pretty good. As mentioned earlier, in-flight entertainment is offered through the entertainment screens at each seat. Delta Studio offers plenty of movies and TV shows with a few live TV channels and plenty of information on our aircraft. Instead of indulging in some entertainment, I chose to sleep for the majority of the flight, having been up for the entirety of the red-eye prior. I awoke from my slumbers just as we began our descent into Austin. Our arrival today will bring us onto runway 36 right, and on our way in we passed one of my favorite landmarks of the city, the Circuit of the Americas. Host to the Formula One United States Grand Prix, MotoGP, Red Bull Grand Prix of the Americas, and countless other events, the track has cemented motorsport into the soundtrack of the live music capital of the world. I cannot say how many weekends I have spent there, but I practically know the grounds like the back of my hand. It's only a minute after passing over Coda that we begin our short final and landing onto runway 36 right. A short taxi around to Gate 10 and we can deplane into Austin.
Thank you, everyone.
And with that, it's time to bring today's video to a close. Next week, we'll be back in Fort Worth to ride up to Oklahoma City on Amtrak's Heartland Flyer. If you want to be around when more videos get posted, please hit that subscribe button down below. It's totally free and it really helps support the channel. If you enjoyed the video, drop it a like too. Likes help push my content to more viewers like you, and the more people who enjoy my content, the more trips we can take in the future. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Thanks for flying with me, and I'll see you in the next one.